In order to gain a close exposure into the behavior of elephants, a fieldwork in Kuala Gandah National Elephant Conservation Centre was held on 10th June 2023. This conservation centre is an elephant sanctuary that is located in Lancang, Pahang and established in 1989 by the Malaysian Department of Wildlife and National Parks, intended to increase public awareness and encourage research that has grown to be a tourist attraction. A base for elephant relocation team was formed in this conservation centre that have been actively rescuing Asian elephants since 1974 that have lost their habitat due to agricultural and urbanization activities.
Elephas maximus or Asian elephants, characterized in the family Elephantidae, are the largest land mammals in Asia. They inhabit grasslands and forests ranging from dry to wet in 13 countries across South and Southeast Asia. Elephants are herbivorous animals that consume grasses, leaves, fruits, bamboo, and woody parts of a tree. Elephants would eat more than 150 kg per day as to sustain a lot of energy for their large body. The lifespan of the elephants is between 50 to 70 years. Elephants possess unique physical characteristics by having long trunk, tusks, thick skin, thin hair, and relatively large ears. Elephants are crepuscular, which means they snooze most of the time during the day and most active in the dawn and dusk.
This study is intended to observe the communication of the elephants between the individuals of the same species and with different species, in this case between the elephants and Mohd or visitors. The objective of this study is to observe the social behavior and non-social behavior of the elephants. Social behavior is the interactive behavior that occur between two or more individuals of the same species. Meanwhile, non-social behavior is any action done by an individual when being isolated. The relationship of the behavior when the elephants interacted with human and not interacted with human were also going to be conducted.
This research was conducted at Kuala Gandah National Elephant Conservation Centre located in Lancang, Pahang. This research focused on the study of 10 adult elephants. The behavior of the elephant was recorded using camera to observe any communication between the elephants and elephants with Mohd and the visitors. The social or non-social behavior were also observed. As the studied elephants are the captivate elephants, the study will focus on the non-social behavior. 10 minutes of the observation was conducted and all the behaviors displayed would be recorded in 2 minutes of each interval. The data were interpreted by using Microsoft Excel and SPSS. Communication is the transmission of signals or information from one animal to another that results in behavioral change. The signals can be in various forms, which include visual, auditory, odor, pheromones, or tactile. Elephants will use their body parts to communicate with the members of the same species and with other species. Elephants are highly tactile animals. During the observation, it was observed that elephants are able to communicate through the sense of touch. During the performance, the Mohd would use a stick to order the elephants to move according to what the elephant had learned during the training. This clip shows that Lassa, a 25-year-old male elephant, lifted his legs up after the Mohd stroked the stick on his body. Elephants also make a wide variety of sounds, including trumpeting and rumbling, to communicate with one another. From loud roars to low-frequency rumbles, elephants will produce the sound when they are extremely excited, in fear, or happy. After the performance ended, this 18-year-old female elephant named Sanong was trumpeting to the visitors as to show her excitement to celebrate the visitors who watched the performance. Social behavior of the animals is categorized as the interaction between the members of the same species as well as the adaptive behaviors that help in the animal's ability to reproduce and survive. There are 5 non-social behaviors included in this itogram, which include resting, consists of sitting, body swaying, and lying on the ground. Secondly, body movement behavior including tail and trunk swinging as well as ear flapping. Eating behavior that consists of chewing and feeding by the visitors. Playing. Lastly, agonistic behavior. Resting behavior that produced the most was body swaying. Meanwhile, sitting and lying on the ground showed the same frequency during 10 minutes of observation. This is because during the resting time, the elephants tend to sway their body to make themselves comfortable. In addition, lying down and sitting were done by the elephants only when instructed by the Mohd, as they were standing all the time during the observation. Tail wagging is the most frequent body movement to be compared with trunk swinging and ear flapping. Elephants may wag their tail to blow away insects like mosquitoes from landing and also to signify happiness, fear, or relaxation. Ear flapping is the second highest body movement that functions as a cooling mechanism for blood circulation. Trunk swinging can be displayed by the elephants to communicate with Mahmud and the visitors, as well as to smell, eat, and drink. Eating behavior of the elephants shows that chewing is more frequent than grabbing the food during feeding by human. This is because the food will be swallowed more easily. The elephants also displayed playing behavior that were mostly shown during the performance. The playing behaviors that were presented include spraying water and grabbing coin from the ground. The playing behaviors were not frequently displayed by the elephants as they were only done according to the Mahmud's instructions. Lastly is agonistic behavior. Elephants tend to produce sounds like trumpeting, rumbling, and many more as a way to communicate. This graph shows the frequency of the elephants trumpeting during 10 minutes of observation. The elephants did not frequently produce sound. This is probably because they only make noises when they were excited after finishing the performance or when they were groomed by the Mahmud. The study of movement behavior was also done by observing the relationship of the behavior when the elephants were not interacting with human versus when interact with human, which include the time they were with Mahmud and the visitors. Based on the statistical data, the R value obtained is 0.163, indicates a weak positive correlation of movement behavior of the elephants between without the interaction with human and with interaction. Despite the tendency for both variables to increase in response to one another, the relationship between them is not very strong. Independent t-test was also conducted using SPSS. This test was done to examine whether both situations were different from each other. Based on the data obtained, the t-value calculated 0.95 is larger than the critical value 0.5, which indicates that there is no significant difference between the elephant's movement behavior without interaction with human and with interaction. As elephants are extremely social animals, living in the conservation center would alter their behavior between the individuals of the same species and human. They would have less opportunities to interact within the same species and their actions were more dependent on human care. Therefore, they may display behaviors that are more or less likely the same in terms of frequency, no matter when they were interacting with human or not. Elephants are able to communicate through many forms, such as auditory or touch, that result in behavioral change. The non-social behavior occurs when the elephant was in a secluded area. The movement behavior of the elephants between interacting with human and without showed a weak positive correlation, where the frequency for both situations would increase accordingly to one another but might differ in several periods of observation. Based on the independent t-test conducted, the behavior of the elephants was not significantly different for both situations as the elephants studied are captivate elephants, in which they might have normally acted the same way in both situations due to their actions are dependent according to human care. This also indicates that the captivate elephants have less opportunities to interact within their own species to be compared to the wild ones that can live more freely as they feed.